I'm aiming for like 700 horsepower today. Not making boost for some reason. And it looks like we may have a cold cylinder.
There's an old tube bone. Open.
Say that one more time?
Uh-huh.
You motherfucker.
Hey guys, Matt from Damond Motorsports, and today we're just kind of doing a little behind the scenes of what's going on at the shop, kind of what we do on the weekends, just chill afternoon. And today we're going to be working on testing some products. We got some friends by. We also have a car on the dyno that we're currently wrenching on, as well as hopefully getting some dyno tune action today. So let's go check it out. Yeah, so today we've got Chris's Speed 3. It's a full drag build Speed 3 that we've been working on. Cars running entirely on a Motec ECU. And today they're going through just doing some diagnostic setup. And then hopefully we'll make some jam with the car. Our goal today is about upwards of 700 horsepower. So if we hit that, we're at a good point with the car. It still needs a lot of work to get it down the strip, but our goal for today at least is to, you know, make sure it's running good before we start turning back into it.
No.
So my favorite part about Saturdays is standing around and watching these guys work while I don't do anything. This is great.
that dump is.
Yeah, they're always standard. My metal Yeti Cup fell and it landed perfectly standing up.
What happened?
My metal Yeti Cup fell and landed perfectly standing up.
Get in there.
My children leaving bolts everywhere. Just moving this box.
Yeah?
Would you grab me a 3/8 ratcheting wrench? What the f is that?
It's one of the rubber gasket seals for a connector.
This car doesn't need to be waterproof.
I mean, you said that. Well, I guess we decided that for you when we took all the door seals out of your car.
Shit, assholes. What I was confused about is like you guys took 2 of the door seals off. There was like 1 or 2 door seals gone and the other ones were on there. I'm like, either fucking race car it or leave it the fuck alone.
So there's a lot of dust in the shop, and that's because there's a beautiful quarry across the street.
So what happened to all the cars?
All the cars are very, very dusty, and we have to constantly clean them and the shop. So
Also why we don't work on customer cars or engines.
yeah, also why we're not really doing much for customer cars at this time, and why we're not building engines, because no one wants an engine full of dust.
It adds the horsepower though, right?
Well, if it's magical dust, then yes, it adds horsepower, but this is not magical dust.
It just creates some really cool metal shavings in the oil pan.
Yeah, this will make for that forbidden glitter. This guy here needs no introduction.
But you're gonna introduce me.
But I'm gonna introduce him anyway as he walks away. So here we have Farhan. He's helping set up some external wastegates on Chris's car. Just make sure everything's plumbed correctly before we start making some jam on the dyno. He also is our tuner, so he's gonna tune this car as well. Along with all your cars, if you want to make some jams. So
Yep.
for sure, check us out.
Did you talk about this car at all? This car actually has the motor out of my drag car. Remember, that's the 6 that it was about 700 horsepower. It does the 10-second quarter mile. 10 flat, I think, is the best we did. That car's been sitting for a bit because I got stuff going on with life. So Chris said, "Fuck it, we're gonna put the power plant in here, make some horsepower on his Speed 3." We're trying to finish that up and hopefully start dyno tuning a bit today. Made our own wire harness for the Motec that's on here. Basically everything's custom. I mean, everything down to the coolant reservoir, fuel tank, obviously. Damn near everything is custom. Chris spent, I don't even know, hundreds of hours on this at this point probably. And we're hoping to make some horsepower today. You said you had
You guys were talking about adjusting windows?
Yeah, he's adjusting windows on his Jeep, so that way they'll work. His Ford Jeep. But in relation to this car, we do have our little catch can kit coming out for these soon, which is mounted right over there. So today here we have our buddy Jeremy's 2.3 liter Ford Bronco. And it's a car that we actually just started working on developing parts for. Our first one being our oil catch can kits, which, yeah,
It's a new adventure into SUVs.
yeah. So we're breaking a little bit into the Bronco market. These engines are very similar to what our bread and butter engines, the Mazda Speed engines, the Focus ST RS engines, Mustang EcoBoost engine, very shared similar platform. So we're just taking all of the knowledge we've gained over the past generations of the Mazda Speeds and Ford STs and RS, and just kind of implementing that to the Ford Bronco as well. So yeah, we have our oil catch can kit coming out soon for the Ford Bronco. Be sure to follow us. Our socials are down below, as well as our mailing list. So yeah, stay tuned for more info.
Just gonna turn it on, get it on the dyno, get the straps tightened up, warmed up, and hopefully make some boost. See if we can make, I'm aiming for like 700 horsepower today, because this car's got a bunch of work left to do. We gotta loom the wiring harness, we gotta change some stuff with the transmission. So if we can get to 700 today, we're gonna call it good, wrap it up. Hell, if we get to 600, 650 today, I might call it good. There's no point beating on the motor.
Put down some good power with the car. We'll see. First time really making boost on it with the Motec. So hopefully everything checks out okay. We still have to make sure fuel pressure is good, make sure it's actually making decent boost. We had an issue last week where it wasn't making correct boost. We sorted that. So now, yeah, hopefully we make some decent power with it today.
Not making boost for some reason. And it looks like we may have a cold cylinder.
Hey guys, Matt from Damond Motorsports. Today we are just kind of doing some test fit preliminary work with the oil pan baffle that we're working on for the Mazda Speed. So this will fit the Mazda Speed 3, the Mazda Speed 6, as well as the CX-7. We doubt you'll really need one in the CX-7, but yeah, this is a really good baffle that we've designed specifically aimed at guys who are either tracking their cars or just need an oil pan baffle in general because they've deleted the balance shaft. So a couple features that set us apart from other companies that make this. We are using trapdoors on the baffle to actually baffle and control the oil flow to where it goes. We also have a bit more material on the timing cover side, similar to how the OE baffle is, whereas a lot of other companies, they just kind of ended a little bit prematurely. So yeah, it's a pretty cool design, so check it out.
Test it on a car soon?
Yeah, so we have this going on a Speed 3. That's one of our sponsor cars that he tracks his car heavily. So yeah, he's going to get us some data so that way we can kind of validate this product. It's similar to other ones on the market, so we feel this is just going to be a little bit of a better mod compared to some of the other baffles that are out there. So we're hoping to release our oil pan baffle in the next few weeks once we get some preliminary testing done. Be sure to check us out, social links below. You'll know more info as soon as this product drops, as well as any more blogs that we release on it. And yeah, let's go back to the dyno.
It's cutting fuel.
I see that.
Not sure why we're cutting fuel. Well, it's cutting like you're saying because it's it's overrunning target, right?
And then you see that it's dirty and...
No, I cleaned it. It still looks brand new. Do you still have the ABS pump in here, Chris? Yeah, it looks like you do. Yeah, ask him.
This is just basic diagnostics, making sure everything is healthy. This motor sat for a couple years. What, a year and a half or something? It hasn't turned on in almost 2 years, essentially. So we're making sure the motor is healthy. Just gonna do a compression test. I don't trust this tester. Right. But honestly, it doesn't matter. You should be making more than 10 pounds of boost either way. I got a half of mine just to unplug it.
The control?
No, just take the hose off of there so there's no pressure going to it. Just let this wastegate run what it's gonna run. Unless it's leaking. You might try to hold something to it to see if we're getting stuff out of the wastegate while it's not supposed to be opening. I mean, we could pour a bunch of water down there and see if it shoots out. I don't trust the tester right now. I mean, we haven't done a compression test in a while because we haven't ran a race car in a little while. I don't trust that tester right now, so I'm not worried about it. Huh? Yeah. Just gonna check everything else out. Gonna see if the boost controller, I guess, is plumbed right. It should be. It's just a regular boost controller, nothing special about it. Gonna make sure that's plumbed right. I'll probably run it back up and see if the wastegates are opening. They shouldn't be. Might actually just completely disconnect the wastegates, just to let them make a whole ton of boost, see if that is the problem. Just want the very clean. Pull it back up just a bit. And rotate. Back the other way.
Nicks.
I don't think those are nicks. I think that's just garbage that just from 1 and 2. Let's check the spark on them.
So while they're fixing that car on the dyno here, figured I'd at least show you guys a product that we're working on. So this is for an intake manifold for the Mazda Speeds as well as the ST. This is a simple 3D printed prototype part that we're just using to simply test fit, mainly with clearance on the Mazda Speed 6 with the massive power steering pump, which is generally in the way. So yeah, that's simple. This is an intake manifold. Right here is just a 3D printed prototype that we're using to test fit, just to make sure that it clears with the Mazda Speed 6 power steering pump, just because that adds a bit of extra space. So yeah, if you're looking to learn more about this, any more updates, be sure to check out our links below, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our mailing list. But yeah.
Actually, it might be. This turbo doesn't light till like 5 grand.
Yeah, this turbo doesn't really come alive till later.
What?
There's no two-bone. Open.
Say that one more time. You mother.
What happened?
I asked you last week if you plugged those.
I did. I think it backed out.
Oh, in the wastegate?
There's a fucking 1.5-inch hole in the exhaust manifold. This manifold is set up to get 4 thermocouples, 1 in each cylinder. It's also set up to get 4 O2 sensors if we decided that we're going to put an O2 sensor on every cylinder. Whether it fell out, or Chris missed them, or something, the plugs for the O2 sensors are not in there. So there are holes the size of your O2 sensor in the exhaust manifold. So the exhaust isn't going to the turbocharger right now.
Do I get a light?
You motherfucker!
I'm just thinking they may be backed out.
We have 3, it turns out, 1-inch holes in the exhaust. That's why we're not making boost.
You're not going anywhere. Yeah.
Should be 2 yellow ones. All good.
I've got to unfortunately dip out a little early for today. However, Chris and Farhan are still jamming on the dyno, doing some diagnostic steps. We figured out there's a couple pins that were wrong for the fuel injectors, so those are getting replaced. And yeah, hopefully the car will start making some decent power.
There might be something wrong in the fuel injector characterization. That might have been the problem. I don't know if it is for sure yet. Not the greatest of days. I mean, everything more or less seems fine with the car. The injectors are powered how they should. The controller's working. The Motec seems to be doing his job. I got a feeling the injectors are just old. Well, they are old. They probably just need to get a cleaning. If not, get new injectors. But aside from that, everything else seems great. We got boost now, so we made some progress.